All right, guys. Welcome to the SEO show. I'm Frank, and I'm right here. I'll wave to you. How you doing? I'm inside in the darkened cave,
And
and Byron's over there moving hoses.
yeah, I'm out here
He's going
just
to
moving hoses.
he's going to show us what country living is all about.
This is country paradise right here. We got the
Uh,
Teton Mountains back here, and as you can see, I have my beautiful yard, and nobody really takes care of their yard except me. It's just a bunch of dry, dead shit everywhere else. But that's okay.
well, dude, you're in the farm. I mean, damn. I mean, you got a big ass backyard. I know you're not
No,
cutting that thing with the 22-inch lawn boy.
no, I have a guy that does it for me, but he's got this big riding lawnmower. It's pretty
Hell
cool.
yes. Mm. We well, I should say about damn 8 years ago. Yeah, man, it's been about 8 years. Had
Yeah,
386 acres of Ohio farmland down in the mountains,
nice.
the hills, down towards Kentucky. Yeah, no, it was being a city boy going out to the country was a shock. But yeah, it was, we cut grass with tractors and brush guards and or bush guards and shit and tore
Oh
that shit
yeah.
down. But still, I'm a country boy from L.A. and country life's a bit slow sometimes, man.
It's slow. I do a lot of I feel like I literally am in a country song because I sit on the porch, I drink coffee, I drink a beer, I just look at the mountains, and half my day I really don't do much. You know, like I just kind of sit here.
Hey, I'll tell you this, man. When it's not summertime here in Arizona, I sit out on our porch. Me and the dog will sit out there. I take the laptop out, throw it on the table. I've got a
Yeah.
perfect view of the freeway.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
I'm on the third floor, so I get to see the tops of other buildings. And then, we're 360 of mountain ranges. So,
Oh yeah.
looking at the mountains. And I love it, when the storms come in, whenever they do. Um, you can see them just rushing over the mountains, and it's just this big old and this haboob that we always get. I love that word, haboob. They had
Haboob.
to come up it's a haboob. When a haboob comes in, people freak out, and I don't blame them. You can't breathe in that thing, but it's a dust cloud that's like 100 stories tall. It looks like a
Yeah.
wall of dust right before a storm comes in, and it's cool as hell to look at. It's a bitch on your car, though.
So how often do those things happen? Like, is it a regular occurrence? Or I've seen pictures, and my girlfriend's from Arizona, and she's told me about it. But
Yeah. Oh, it happens now because it's monsoon season, so it happens more often. This monsoon season, at least for us in the West Valley, has been weak. We may have gotten 2 inches, maybe 3 inches. Again, I'm not a meteorologist. I do not have a weather station, so I'm guesstimating. But yeah, it happens more in the monsoons, and then I don't know. I love the rain. I miss some trees and grass, but I have no problem putting in AstroTurf in my backyard when we get our house. So,
nice.
man, what's been going on the past couple days?
Oh, just trying to think. What have I done? Just working on clients and stuff. I actually traveled to about an hour away to a city that, took the girl out for dinner and stuff like that, and just, kind of chilling after the weekend trip that we had. It was pretty crazy on the pocketbook and the body, so just kind of taking it easy for a while.
Yeah, the pocketbook. Yeah, I just speaking of pocketbooks, I want to give a warning out, shout out to all you business owners. Um, do yourself a favor. Go into your PayPal, go into all your subscription accounts, go into all your services, go into everything. Connect it physically copy paste that stuff into your Google Calendar with at least a couple of days alerts. I did not pay attention to my subscriptions. I got charged for a subscription that I don't even use, and it's nobody's fault but my own. But just a heads up, you sign up for things, you forget about it, and then you see that you got charged, and you're like, ew, that sucks. So go in, you get a 30-day trial for something.
Gotta love that.
Yeah. Well, you get the 30-day trial for something, and you're like, hey, we will not charge you if you cancel in time, and then you forget, and you're like, ah, damn it.
Well, and you also got to watch out for that as well. I didn't tell you this, previously to when we were talking, but I actually tried to get a refund back on a $297 product, and I mean, they're not giving it to me, and so I put in a PayPal claim and all this stuff, and they just are denying it and everything, and of course it's intangible, so theoretically I can't get it back from PayPal, so I'm looking into doing a chargeback or something, but sometimes you got to watch who you buy stuff from. I really wasn't happy with the product, so.
Well, see, and that's the thing is, I've had products out there that, we did profit with Hangouts, and then I've done video in a Hangout and things, and I don't refund my product. I don't refund my product because I found that 99% of the time somebody gets it, and again, it's a very small amount of money. I think when we took it off the market, it was at $39. What I was finding is people were getting it, and then like 3-4 months later, they're like, hey, I never even used it. I want my money back. And I'm like, well, it's a PDF and videos, and you've got it, and you're going to have it forever, so, I'm not going to refund you. Now, if somebody came up to me and said, look, dude, I went through it, I tried it, it absolutely sucked ballsack, I'm not going to have you pissed off, and, I'm going to be like, well, let's figure out what we did. Let's get on a call. Let's see if we can get something working for you because, Google Hangouts is not my product, but I can show you some tips and tricks, and I'll try that. And if not, hey, I don't want you pissed, and if you're cool about shit, I'll give you your money back. I don't care. I mean, it's $40, but I'm not going to have somebody jump in and be all dickish. Hey, Aaron, what's going on, brother?
Hey, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Good. I got to warn you, I'm a mouthy one.
I can tell. That's all right. I don't blame you.
Oh, well, we are the SEO show, my man. What can we do for you?
I'm just joining to say what's up. See, I can see Byron back there in the green pastures of Idaho.
Yeah.
What's that all about?
Hey, I just wanted to show everybody what I got going on. Well, this is actually my side yard. My backyard is just a bunch of weeds, but.
Oh, that's awesome. Good for you.
Yeah. got the Rocky Mountains back there and all that. So.
Good stuff.
Awesome. Well, let's see. Let's get into it. I've got checklists, man. Byron, I got to talk to you about these checklists.
All right, checklist.
I'm getting these emails, man, on-page SEO checklist for businesses, and they're just lists, man. They don't really explain what the hell you're supposed to do with them.
So what are they? Are they like just trying to get you to sign up for their service? What's the point of them sending these out?
No, this list is it's the ultimate SEO list. Follow these 10 things, and you will be on page 1 of Google in a matter of a short time.
Oh, wow.
Like literally, just to pull a couple off of these, and the funny part was number 10 because I laughed. Number 1 is title tags. Number 5 is multimedia use. Then 6 is URL structure. 7 is crawl error, and number 10 is page speed. Now, this is just literally a 10 list of the things that you need on your site or page that Google wants in order to guarantee you rankings. Well, one, I believe that in SEO, if you say, I guarantee, you've already proven that you're a liar.
Yes.
Because, man, I can do a lot, but I cannot guarantee SEO ranks. I can
No,
get you there. We might touch page one once for about a week, and then we might have to do a whole lot more work.
there's very small or small number of scenarios where I actually use the word guarantee in any SEO client work. I have used it before, but as far as like guaranteeing page one or guaranteeing top 5, it's just a joke if you say that stuff.
Well, the one thing that I do use a guarantee on is are my videos. Like if I do a very quick and dirty video marketing campaign for somebody, I will say, listen, you give me half up front. If it's a high-end client that we're having negotiations, I'll be like half up front and half when you reach page one. And usually I'll call them back in a couple of
Yeah.
hours or a week, and I'll be like, hey, look, you're on page one. And they're like, what? I'm like, hey, yeah, I got you there. Now send me the rest of my money, and we'll talk about nailing every other keyword out there. But and these aren't the simplest of keywords, but I'm also not going after the universal hardest thing out there, and fighting with lawyers and everything else. But I go after what they want, and then I'll guarantee it. I can get your video on page one. That's no problem. But your website's a totally different story, man.
Exactly.
Totally different.
I've used the guarantee thing because a lot of, and this is kind of what stuff that I teach too, and like the coaching that I do. But I mean, if you guarantee something like for $50 or $75, you'll rank them for a long tail keyword. I can guarantee it'll rank. I tell them there's a very, very good chance within a couple weeks you'll be on page one, but the only thing I can guarantee is that you'll come from nowhere to start ranking. Very good chance on page one, but I still stay away from that because I've just heard a lot of people they get in trouble. They say I'll get you on page one, and then their company goes under because everybody files chargebacks or whatever happens.
Oh, absolutely, and that's the thing, is somebody. I have a client now that we're talking, and we said, yeah, we can work with you. Yeah, we can do a bunch of cool things, and we definitely know we can put you in a better position than you are. I mean, even he called up and said, listen, man, I've got nothing. I've got this crap website that I did with GoDaddy overnight or whatever it's called. No SEO. I know I need marketing. I know I need SEO. And I went, okay, well, we can do something and start to move you. I'm not going to charge you $50,000. I mean, you're literally a small business that just started, so we can do anything. You give me a list of the 10 keywords that you want, because he knew what a keyword was, and he already knew, the categories and stuff that he wanted to go after.
Yeah.
And he came back, and I said, all right, well, 7 of these are a no-go. These are going to be long-term. We're going to have to fight for these. These are national, big time, big money into it. I think they were I jumped into SpyFu and pulled up his competitors or the keyword competition, and these guys are paying 150 something a click. And I'm like, you don't want to get into that yet. I mean, that's big money, and let's play with everything around it first. And then you'll naturally get some build up under it. We'll use the tidal wave movement to get you up. But yeah, guarantees are a pain in the ass, man, and I hate it that these, like you said, these fly-by-nights come out, guarantee it, take the money, do some work. The client sees a little bit, they use these little tips and tricks, and then they're gone.
Yeah.
And then you go in to talk to them, and they're pissed because they just got burned for thousands of bucks.
Yep, exactly. They either, as long as everything's hunky-dory and everybody's fine and, the client is paying them, the company, you can still communicate with them, but as the first time that a client says, oh, we're having a problem or I might like a refund, they just seem to disappear, and then they get chargebacks, and then they wonder why their SEO company, or that they have to use like a churn and burn model, they have to move on to like a new SEO company every 6 months or less than that,
Well, and to defend all of the SEO companies, whether you're new or established or anything else, I'm defending you because I'm right there with all of you. If a client wants to rank on page one in 30 days for their website, and they're not willing or able to budget in, an investment in their marketing, You've got to really think about whether or not you want to commit to them, and they have got to be educated and told this is an investment in your business. I mean, my wife asked the perfect thing. We were talking, and she goes, "Isn't that like a line item on a business plan or something that marketing? Now everybody has the internet. She's got kids in her third grade that are walking in with smartphones that are more expensive than hers, and they've got access to the internet. Don't you think mom and dad or business owners know that this is a major area for marketing? You've got no problem dumping $15,000 on office furniture, but when I say it's going to cost you $15,000 to start your SEO campaign, it's like, oh my God, you're taking my child's education fund."
It's like, well, when we get you on page 1, you'll have double your child's education fund,
Exactly. I mean, it really is a major, it's an investment.
It is. Well, there was a video that some guy put out. I'm subscribed to him on YouTube. I can't even remember his name, but he does SEO stuff and marketing. He was talking about every company has to be basically a media agency. The search engines are part of media. You have to be on video. You need to be a media company, or at least like attach a media section onto your business for the marketing and everything like that. And if you're not doing any sort of media online, you're pretty much missing out, because paper and all that stuff is obviously just dying at an incredible rate.
Yeah, but yeah, like you said, a media company, and that's why I don't call our company is not video marketing. We are Schwarz Media, and the reason is because we have to be involved in so many things. I love video, I love SEO, I love working in all of it. My stepfather used to work for Clear Channel. He was one of their big wigs for a long time, and that radio. I've been in TV. I did my own radio show for a while. Newspapers. I haven't worked in newspapers, but my dad did, so I got to see how to cut up and do classified ads and all this stuff. There was a company called the Merchant Clipper, which was a coupon magazine. And he was a salesman for there, so I got to see that back in. That stuff all is really fascinating for me, and you've got to know, because marketing really is getting to that buyer wherever that buyer is. It's not literally just we do online. What about car magnets? Have you ever told the owner of a business, why aren't you using a car magnet during the week and then take it off at night or on the weekend? Yep. You still have a nice looking truck, but it's a magnet and it's advertising your company.
Exactly. I've had a couple clients that talk to me and they're saying, well, how do I, it's basically like they don't even know how to run a business, and they're asking me questions about that stuff. And I've actually suggested, well, to turn your vehicle into a company truck, you put a sticker on the back, a decal on the back, and all this advice that I'm just like, why am I telling this 40-year-old business owner, like, he hired me for SEO, but yet he doesn't know how to advertise anything else in his business?
Well, and that's the funny part, and I think that's mainly what was frustrating my wife, is she's going, wow, if not hire a consultant, or pay me to help you a little bit more, but don't complain about the price.
Exactly.
It is funny, and that's why I say you've got to educate. You can't just throw a list of services, and that's and that comes back around to this list of SEO stuff to do. You can have an outline, you can have things to reference, but I mean, it's not cut and dry. Do this, and this. I have a website that I put up as a show and tell item that is #1 for probably 50 keywords, and it literally has exactly what is on this list, minus the content. These pages have a picture an H1 tag, an H3 tag, an H2 tag, a couple of alt tags, underline and bold of the keyword, and that's it. And it's one page, and it just is there, and it's ranked, and it's awesome. And I say, you see, when you follow these things, this is what you get. But how many people come back here to search this? Nobody, because there's nothing there. There's nothing of value. Yes, it ranks for this long tail, but I mean, honestly, it's of no value to anybody. So it's. Yes, you can do this, but no, it's not going to be any good to anybody.
Well, and what is this? What does the list say? Does it mention? Is it just on-page stuff, or is it all encompassing SEO?
This is on-page SEO checklist
On-page.
to search engine success.
I'm
not going to call out the people. I found this actually from because I subscribe to PRs, and I have Google alerts and things for certain things. So I get these things, especially when they put out PR campaigns. So I got this, and I saw it, and I went, wow, I mean, page speed is important. I don't think it's number 10. Mobile responsiveness should not be number 9.
No.
Crawl errors. I mean, crawl errors, and to see if you're blocked on. I mean, they say search engine blocks. I believe they mean like your robot text. That's.
Or are they talking about like 404s, like crawl errors?
They mention that as a secondary thing, but yeah, I think the search engine blocks is what they actually say is your robot text. And I don't know about you, but how do you accidentally block the robots? I mean, I thought, me personally, you have to go in and actually say, stay the hell away from me.
You do. In fact, there's only one way that I know of. Like when you're setting up WordPress, there is a checkbox, depending on if you set it up from like simple scripts or something. But if you do it manually, there's a checkbox that says block from search engines. So there is a possibility that may have been checked, but if you're doing this manually with a robots.txt, you have to input that. There's really no way unless they downloaded a pre-defined robots file from somebody else and that other person had that info in there. It's really pretty hard to screw that up.
Don't do that. I use Spider Spanker and a couple of other little things depending on how fast I want things to go. And, I have a list of certain things I don't want crawling certain pages for different things, private blog networks, or, I'm getting crushed by the Russians or the Chinese. And, like WordFence. WordFence, you can go in and you can block an IP. You can block a certain block of IPs, but in WordFence, you can actually block by country.
Oh, wow.
So you can say, I don't want any Russians and I don't want any Chinese. Well, if you have a VPN, that's kind of hard, because all they have to say is, I'm from the U.S., and, suddenly they are. But, that's how I would suggest you block anything, is so you can uncheck real easy. But if you're messing around with that robot text, God help you, because you don't want to put in the wrong thing.
Exactly. If you don't know what you're doing, I would definitely stay away from the robots. I mean, I've dealt with those issues. A client signs on, and their site's all screwed up, their rankings are all screwed up. When I say screwed up, I mean their indexing and stuff like that. And I'll look at all this stuff trying to figure it out, and these days the first thing I do is go to the robots, because I've spent days on end trying to figure out why a site isn't indexed properly, and then you go into the robots file and they've got it all jacked up in there.
Yeah, that's a delete and start over thing.
Exactly.
But at least the statement, it's always the last thing you check. Well, yeah, because I don't think you would continue to check if you found the solution. But yeah, it's certain things hitting that. It's just like that's the same with videos. Why? I know I can have a video ranked pretty good, especially if I have it pinged and all this stuff, and I do a couple of behind the scenes things. And I sat there the other night and I went, man, this is like the longest long tail keyword thing. I mean, I typed in like the entire title, and I'm like, and I cannot find this thing. What is going on? I uploaded it private so I could do my back end stuff, and I never clicked public. So I'm walking around the house, and I'm like, man, I can't believe this thing's not indexed yet. This is total failure. What did I do? And I go back and I'm like, oh, because you're unlisted, you idiot. So this made it public, and all of a sudden, an hour later, everything's fine, and we're getting traffic, and it's a happy time.
Wow, I never realized how noisy it is out here if I'm not recording.
Isn't this stuff like you can't travel like 50 miles or something? I mean, it's been a while since I've been in the country, man. It's all fun and games.
Well, there's like 4 different kids, like families here that have 4-wheelers, and literally they go up and down this road. Like, since it's been really nice the last few days, it was raining, now it's nice again, and they've been going up and down on the 4-wheeler the entire day. I took a walk this morning and I about got hit by 10 different 4-wheelers.
Nice.
So, I live on a dirt road, so it's pretty cool for that factor.
Hey man, I met my neighbors when I was down on the farm. I met my neighbors. I was hearing this clock, 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 and I'm like, what the hell is that noise? And I look over to my left. I'm sitting on the porch, and here come these 3 people on horseback. And I'm like, what the hell is this? They come visit you on horseback? Guy's like, yeah, we're your neighbors. I'm like, I have neighbors? He's like, yeah, we're about 5 miles down the road. I'm like, oh, sweet.
We're just stopping by to give you a welcome gift.
I'm like, on horseback? This is crazy.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, yes, and in this list it says media. Multimedia.
Does it define anything? Like, obviously video they're probably talking about.
I think they mean video and pictures and probably alt tags, but no, and that's the problem with these PR articles is they'll throw out the list, and then you got to go hunt down where it's going to be at, and it's, tell people you've got a list over on your page, but don't put the list in your PR because it just says crawl error resolution, URL structure, and it's like that gives an answer, but it's like so. Your typical client is not going to know what a URL structure is. You start using too many of the terms, and you lose the people, and then they never call you.
Exactly. At least explain it in such a way where it's a little bit technical to where they can actually take actionable steps, or change it so it's, I mean, just throwing out jargon like that, somebody's going to have to go and investigate anyway,
I was listening. I went to a meetup, and it was a big SEO thing, and the dude's been certified by the International SEO University or Association or whatever it was, and he spent $8,000 reading all these manuals and books, spent 20 hours in class, all this stuff. And he will teach you over the weekend. Also, he will certify you how to be an SEO god. And he just happened this one weekend, he happened to throw up that they were going to be doing video, and he was going to teach how to use YouTube for your marketing. And during his presentation, he's like, you want it to be as short as humanly possible, and that'll help you rank. And, somebody said, well, how short? And he goes, well, it should be, typically under 15 minutes. And I'm like, wow, dude, marketing video that's over 50 or is 15 minutes is probably not going to be watched by the typical viewer looking for a product or service, unless it's something big and you're doing a huge walk around or walk through.
Yeah, exactly.
But short as humanly possible. So I, being the professional smartass that I am, created a 3-second video, uploaded it, and literally by the time that YouTube started playing the video, it technically was over by the time you saw it. So I'm getting 100% watch rate because it's 3 seconds long. And, you know, I'm like, okay, now I just did everything that you said, yet this video is not on page 1 yet. And he's like, but it's ranked on YouTube. And I said, but it's not. If you go and look for it, it's not ranked on YouTube and it's not ranked on Google, but you said it should be. And he goes, well, it can take up to a month before you'll see your video.
Oh.
I then proceeded to let him know that I could make a video sitting right there that was actually a real video, and we could have it uploaded and ranked on page 1 for the terms that he wanted, if he was willing to pay for my dinner. And he said yes. So as we sat there in his meetup, I literally typed up a PowerPoint. We did it and uploaded it, and then I said, you know, excuse me, sir, and he's like, yeah, and I said, well, if you go and search for this, you know, this keyword, you'll see the video, and he said, no, you won't. I said, I'm telling you, it's sitting there. It's #1 on Google. And he said, it can't be. It takes weeks for Google to rank your video. And I said, no, it doesn't. And needless to say, he bought dinner. And it was, you know, and it wasn't to be so much a dick to him, but it was one of these things that he was charging people $2,000 to learn SEO. That is generic, you know, and I felt he was ripping them off. Don't get me wrong. Learning SEO takes an investment. It's more than $2,000, but you are not going to learn everything about SEO in a weekend for $800 to $2,000. It's not going to happen. I don't care what you do.
And yeah, that philosophy as far as the it takes weeks to crawl thing, that was true at one point if you were owning a normal website. Like in 2007, 2005, Google might not crawl videos on a website, you know, for several days or several weeks, but 2014, I mean, literally within the last 3 or 4 years, that doesn't exist anymore. And like you said, you can rank a video in a matter of minutes. You can rank a page. I mean, you can rank some really heavy-duty keywords in like a couple days if you have the right links. And so just leading people astray, even with that small detail, is pretty amateur, you know?
Right. Well, and that's that thing that, you know, that's a frustration that I have, because when you're talking to a client and they've heard this from everybody, they get that phone call, you know, 10 times a day. Hey, I'm an SEO company. We can guarantee you, you know, a page 1 ranking in Google, or, you know, we can get your video out there on page 1. And these guys go, okay, my video's out there. Yellow Pages, YP.com. You know, you look at their YouTube channel, and I haven't looked in a while, but they had at one point 20-some thousand videos. Well, I would go in, and, you know, I'm talking with people, and they're like, well, you know, I did a video with Yellow Pages, and nothing really happened. And I go look, and they're absolutely right, because it says in the description, powered by Yellow Pages. That's the description on the video. Their title is YP.com presents Joe Blow's snow removal. Well, nobody's looking for Joe Blow's snow removal.
Exactly.
They've had 2 views in 2 years. Of course you're not. And they paid hundreds of dollars, but because it was Yellow Pages, they know advertising and marketing. And I go, no, they know how to get your money. That's not what you do. And I know that you heard that videos, you know, these guys promised you'll get thousands of calls and everything else. I don't promise you that. If you want to pay for every call, then I will take care of everything, and you just pay me when the phone rings. We can do that. Or I can get you a real video that when it's searched for by the proper term, not your name, you know, we can do all that. And you've got to strip all that crap that they've had dumped on them every day by fly-by-nights or people who promise the world and can't deliver. And again, it goes back to what most, you know, professionals say is under promise, over deliver.
Exactly. Well, and kind of back to that same thing with, they talk to all these SEO companies or all these marketing guys. what do they tell them? They're like, oh, your website, and you got to have the social media, and you got to push the social media and the Facebook. I get so sick of that when a client's like, well, what about Facebook and what about social media? And I'm like, yeah, there's definitely a spot in your marketing campaign for social media, but a lot of these SEO guys attached this whole social media thing, but yet they don't explain that there's only a certain portion of the post that gets seen. There's, the paid platform, and there's all these other different things, and then the client just throws out, well, what do you do for social media? What do you do for that? And I honestly get sick of that, because I say, if you get these rankings on the first page, if you get a video ranking, you can get your Facebook page ranking, your website ranking, all this stuff. You'll be much better off than sitting on Facebook just posting status updates every 4 hours. That's not going to attract people the way that you think it's going to attract people.
No, I'm sorry, I got to open another pop because I'm not going to get up and go get more coffee, but I will finish this last sip. I believe in social marketing. I really do. I don't have time. I will give them a free-to-use handout that I probably bought, that's PLR, or I can have one designed on Fiverr or SEO Clerks, or a couple of social people that I know. I can get something made up for them, and I tell them, look, your best thing is, as the owner of the company, post something about your industry from the CEO standpoint or the owner standpoint. If you just want to pop news or a feel-good Friday or anything like that, that's what you have your assistant do. Have her set up a schedule. Hell, sign up for Hootsuite. Schedule that out for the week. Have her do that on Monday. Pull up some really cute little articles, pictures, memes, whatever. And it'll be more cost effective if she's doing that in between phone calls as part of her job than it is to pay me. Because if I'm sitting there finding articles and doing all that, I'm outsourcing it to somebody who I'm going to be paying. You're going to get charged for their time, my time, and then you're going to be like, well, I don't understand what's the return on investment. Really,
yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I'm horrible with it, and that's why usually I turn that over. I have a young lady who, Sarah, and we're friends, and she's a Facebook social media goddess. And I will literally just be like, hey, Sarah, I'll bring her into a conversation if somebody says, what do you do about this? And I'll be like, well, me? I talk to Sarah, and I send everybody to Sarah. And they're like, oh, does she work for you? No, she owns her own company, and she's the one to go to. And because I get aggravated, Yeah. Facebook, I have two things. I have a business account that I put business stuff on, and I have my private account or my personal account where I just put up anything from FU memes to chickens running around or extremely political things, and just stuff out there that'll really make you go, I need to unfriend him. And I think that's what most of the time I do, is I see how far I can push it before I lose all my followers or friends. And
yeah, well, and then the ones that are left, they're definitely hardcore.
Well,
that they're the good friends.
Well, and it's not even so much. I mean, because honestly, I do not have 1,500 friends. I really don't. At 90%, I'll even go as far as saying probably 99% of everybody on my Facebook friend list I've never met. I have family on there that I've never met, and we're funny. Our family is known as the FUs. I mean, that's the first word all the kids learn, and and not to be mean, it's just that's as the adults we're always like, yeah, man, our family history it's vulgar, and it's just laziness. But yeah, it's just funny stuff like that, and I just really look at everybody and say, educate your clients. Don't break. I guess with talking about these lists is, Yeah, there's kind of a list you go through, a checklist that you run through, and most of it's probably mental for most of us that do this daily. Um, but don't hand a list off to somebody and say this is how easy it is. One, you totally make it ridiculous when you ask them for thousands of dollars a month when you've got a top 10 list that you say this is what we're going to do for your website, and they go, well, I could do that for about an hour.
Exactly.
And so now you've just totally kneecapped yourself for any income, but it's really not a 10 list. It's not a top 10 list. Yes, you need H1. Yes, you need graphics. Yes, video. But also you need to change it because what worked last year is not fully working this year. It's changing. Are you telling them that, hey, everything that we're doing today can change tomorrow when Google slams us with, the bloody rhino horn update, or whatever the hell's going on? We don't know what's going to happen. And I tell them that, hey, all of this is promised in nothing because as soon as Google changes their minds, we have to change our whole way of attack.
Yep, exactly. And that's something that should be on, if you do make a top 10 list, it should be based on, algorithm changes, things like that, letting them know what they should keep track of rather than just the same old, H1 tags, titles and page speed. Just how about make it for 2014 and then say this is a list for right now. This list could change in 24 hours,
Oh, absolutely, and that's one thing. If because Google Webmaster News, Matt Cutts, Google Alerts, all of these different alerts that are going on. As soon as I see something, I try to post it publicly so people see it, and I tell people, hey, you know what? I'm not going to send you a personal email unless I think it's important for your business.
Yeah.
But take a look at what I do with my updates, and then you'll see if we're facing anything from Google. I don't know if you saw it, but 1.8 million usernames and passwords was confirmed to have been stolen by Russian hackers.
I saw that. Wasn't that billion?
Yeah, billion with a big old B. Yeah, I mean, and they're okay, and I'm like, guys, this isn't. They have armies of people that this is their full-time job.
Yep.
They get paid to be hackers. It's the greatest thing in the world.
Yep, exactly. And imagine what information they have with 1 point some billion passwords. They've got bank stuff, they've got emails, they've got all kinds of stuff, and you don't know if they're going to use it now or in 6 months or a year because a lot of people never change their passwords. So they've probably got billions and billions of dollars of at their disposal right now for the next 5-10 years at least.
Oh yeah, well, and that's something. When Heartbleed came out, and everybody's like, oh my God, go change your password, and I'm like, no, don't. The whole idea behind Heartbleed is when you change your password, they now have access to you. They don't have access yet. Wait until it rolls out. Wait till the fix is done. As soon as you get the email that says, hey, we were attacked, we fixed it, now go change your email or your password, then go do that. But don't just start changing it because you're just feeding into that problem. And that's why I said with this one, there's no, they just straight up stole your password and username. So go change it. Don't use admin. Don't use God. Don't use password 1234.
That's my favorite. That's my password for everything.
When I send somebody something, I'll send them access to something. I'll be like, your password is password. Make sure you change it because
yeah.
And all of my WordFence securities, it says lock out any username that's not in existence or not being used, and then it says specifically this one, and I always type in admin. I don't use that. I never will. And it's funny. I'll get an email all day long. Somebody tried to log in with the username admin. I'm like, well, that's stupid. But then again, there are a ton of websites out there with the password or the user admin.
There are. In
So-
fact, on that note, I used to do that same thing. I do like pass123 or password123 for clients or something like that. And then a year down the road, I need access, or we'd be talking about their password, and they're like, "Oh yeah, it's password123." I'm like, "Wait, you've been using that for the entire time?" So now I auto-generate the passwords, and I send them this big, long, nasty thing, and I don't even feel bad about it.
No, you can't. I actually one day I was doing something, and it was RV industry when I was doing their marketing. I was helping them consult with an IT company, because these guys were like, we have no idea what we need. We have an internal server. It's over in this closet. It keeps breaking. I'm like, oh, you put your server just in a closet? It was outside too, in the desert, so all these issues. And so I found them an IT company, and we were all talking and stuff, and they're like, so what's the password? And I'm like, password. And they're like, really? I'm like, yeah, their server password is password. So then I send out all the salesmen, because I get Google Apps set up for them, and I send out a sentence. It's literally a huge sentence for the passwords for everybody, and make it the administrative override password. And they were like, cannot remember it. And it was something like, Red Rover, let Frankie come over, or something stupid. But it was it was just a sentence that was. I'm like, nobody's gonna hack that. I mean, it'll take them a million years to figure out what this sentence is, and it's so uncommon that But yeah, so stay away from the simple list when you're talking to a client about what you're gonna do. Highlight your stuff. Highlight the important shit. Make it sound harder than it is, but don't make it sound impossible so they think they're going to be paying you for the next 50 years. But don't make it something that, they think if they Google it, they're going to have that answer. You can use jargon, but don't use too much of it. SEO, people go, what's that? Okay, search engine optimization.
Yeah, even when I'm attracting clients and leads, I stay away from using SEO, because a lot of these businesses, if you start throwing out, I'm going to do SEO for you, they're like, what the hell's SEO? They just want to... Yeah, they just want to sell more cars, or they want to sell more blue widgets. They don't necessarily care or want to know what SEO is. They want more exposure for their site. And in my testing on landing pages and things like that, if you remove SEO, if you take SEO out of the equation, you'll actually convert better for lead purposes. And it just is because it's not like these business owners want to know what SEO is. They want to hire you to help them be more visible.
Well, and that is exactly that, and that's why our sales pitch, or our jargon, now I'm completely blank, but it's Schwarz Media Group. We bring the world to you. What do? I help you sell more cars. I get you more customers. I get you paying customers. Tell them in the simple. Well, he's a plumber. I get you more service contracts. I help get you people who need your service as soon as they need it. I make you the first one they think about. Oh, how do you do that? Oh, online, offline marketing. All this stuff that we do. Everything you hear about that's all fancy on that internet thing. Oh, okay. Well, let's talk about that. But as soon as you say SEO, they're like, huh? Oh, shit. Yeah, I've heard that before. Guys call me 20 times a day with that.
Exactly. And I get those calls too. So now I know what they say. I had a call, in fact, yesterday, this guy, just from this old domain I don't even use anymore. I think the pages are still up. And he's like, yeah, I'd like to help you with your optimization, your SEO, and we're on topseos.com, we're number 4, and all this stuff. And I'm saying, I just let him do his whole spiel, and I'm like, dude, I know everything about top SEOs, all the structure, and I just kind of ripped him a little bit, and he's just like, okay, thanks. And he's probably just some guy reading a script. He probably doesn't know what SEO is himself, but you know, I do feel bad for these business owners because they probably get SEO calls like 15 times a month, and then someone like us, we're trying to sell SEO, and you actually do better if you stay away from mentioning it altogether.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're absolutely right, and that was one of my biggest frustrations is and still a challenge today. How do I convey to somebody what I do so that they understand it easier? Because again, you know, we kind of brought this up in episode 1 or a previous one, is, oh, so you build websites? No,
Yeah,
I
exactly.
don't build websites. You know, I know how. You know, I can, but that's not what I do. You know, I get buyers for your product or service to pay money to you. You know, that's what I do. I get them to open their wallets and hand the money to you and put it in your register. Well, how do you do that?
Yeah.
Awesome. But yeah, oh, so you do websites? No, I'm not a designer. I'm not a, you know, wireframer or anything. No, wireframer? Yeah. See, now we can get all technical about building websites.
Or the best one is they'll call up and say, yeah, I had someone working on my SEO and they didn't do anything, and they probably didn't. A lot of companies, they'll just sign you on for SEO and they probably don't do anything, or maybe they were doing something but they weren't sending out reporting and stuff like that. So
I think you froze. Oh no, we had a hiccup. Well, that's okay. I'm used to it. Um, I hope I'm still here. Maybe I'm gone. Maybe I'm the one that's not here anymore. So,
hey,
oh no, you biffed out. You went into a freeze mode, and I'm like, okay, well, he's either gone or I am.
well, this is what went down. My phone is using its hotspot because it's faster than my internet, and it says it needs to cool down, the temperature thing. So you check this out. I don't know if you can see it, but
No, getting a bright spot.
all right. But anyway, so I think I was gone. Who
Yeah,
cares?
you were gone for a second. Hey, believe me, I get. You know what works great for your phone to cool it down?
What?
What I did when I was in Vegas, because I wasn't going to spend $27 for 24 hours of service. So I hotspotted off my phone. I took the ice bag, reusable ice bag, put a towel on top of that, and put my phone on top of it. It kept that at a nice, cool 100 the entire time. Oh no, lost you again. Yep, there you're back. But
Oh boy.
there you go.
Oh boy.
No. Hey, man, we've been going for a while, and you know we
Yeah.
probably lost about everybody who was watching. We're going to be coming up. Just some quick housekeeping. I'm Frank Schwarz. This is Byron Lee. We are doing the SEO show. We plan schedule Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays. We're getting down to nitty gritty and breaking out some categories for particular days of the week. You can check us out at on Facebook, because even though we just slammed social media, we are on Facebook. There'll be a link to it. It's H1 Facebook.com/H the number 1 tags. That's the page. Our website is h1tags.com. And our YouTube channel is something out there, which if you're watching this, you are already on it. Again, the SEO show, we just talk about SEO stuff, client getting, managing, things of that nature. If you want to build your SEO company, you know, get a hold of Byron. He does a kick-ass webinar, teaches you a couple of secrets on where to find some really powerful leads really fast. I was blown away last time. He can teach you this whole process on building your business. He's, as you can see, I want to highlight him. He is mobile as hell, and now he's inside. Not only is he going to cool off, but he's getting closer to a Wi-Fi source, I think. But yeah, sign up for his webinar series, which you can get on the Facebook page, or go. Where do you want them to go to sign up? No audio. Your mic's unplugged. Ah, see, we got you. and I should have this. I should have this down already. I should have this memorized too.
Does this work?
Okay, start again, but I got you. I can hear you.
Okay, sounds good. Well, if you want to sign up, geez, I don't know. Go. Actually, I do know where you should go. Go to facebook.com/Boomisto, BOOMISTO. There's a bunch of links there, a bunch of information. You can just find. There's like an opt-in if you want to, get my emails. If you want to hear about webinars, that's where you're going to see all the news. So that's where you should go.
Sweet. No, that's great. And listen, guys, I listen to webinars all the time. I buy probably 10% of the time. I don't know, maybe half of the time. But I listen because there is information being handed out by people that are really a lot smarter than me, that I as soon as I get it, I've got it written down, and I go and do what they say. And I listen to the smart people who are obviously in the business and that are teaching or doing the things that I love. Wow, dude. Look at you. I mean, you are just Mr. Mobile today.
I am. My battery's about to die, so I have to plug it in.
Well, that's okay. We will stop boring anybody. If anybody wants to get the hook up with me, most of my Twitters, Facebook, things like that is the Frank Schwarz. It's SCHWARZ. No big deal. If you don't find me, you don't find me. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Like us, share us, and subscribe to the channel. We're getting a lot of views. I think we're already at 500 minutes watched on our 3 or 4 videos that we've done. So people are watching, rewatching. I love it. And yes, I'm very analytical about my YouTube shit. So I watch those analytics as much as most people watch their website traffic. So, yeah. Anything else you need to say, do, or want?
I don't think so. We'll be back Friday. Hopefully everything goes good. We'll be back Friday and have some more info for you. But yeah, I think I'm good.
Yeah. If you got a subject or something that you want to talk about, or if you want to call me really horrible names, go ahead. Do it in the comments either here on our Google page, under the events, on YouTube, on Facebook. You can email me at idon'tcare.com. It's really not my page, so don't go there. That would be cool. idon'tcare.com. And I'm done. We're out of here.
See you guys.
Say goodbye about 50 fucking times. So.